Hello folks and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to be checking out the Aeroplane Heaven M1A Spitfire. She's nearly ready for prime time, guys, and we're going to be checking her out, as I say, with a flight from Pilot Plus Oxford to Burning Blue Designs Popham Airfield. We're going to be in VR in the Varjo VR-3. We're going to do a bit of a display there as well, hopefully. And if that's not exciting enough for you, we're also going to be using the Authentikit range of 3D printed flight controls. Now, I'm sure you've seen this on the channel a few times now, but if you haven't, I'll put some sort of video footage of what it looks like attached to my desk. Looks pretty expensive, doesn't it? And looks very bespoke. And you might think to yourself, how on earth can anyone afford something like that? Well, actually, it's free. Or pretty much anyway. There's a number of ways you can get your own bespoke set of flight controls. Now, just to say that Authentikit's sort of vision, in fact it's Phil, he's the mastermind behind Authentikit, and honestly his passion, you know, his enthusiasm and just, I guess, the blood, sweat and tears he's put into this project is, you know, it beggars belief really. And to think that this is all free as well is just unbelievable really. But if you have a 3D printer, okay, and don't worry if you don't, I'll get to that in a minute, but if you do, go to authentikit.org and download the free files, print them off, and then, you know, just build your own flight controls. It's as simple as that really. If you need some extra help with some of your supplies, there is a sister site called Sim Kit Supplies, which is very useful. Also, if you don't have a 3D printer, this is pretty new, there's a new scheme which is called Help a Mate, which I really like. And if you log on to his Discord channel, which I'll have linked in the description below, you can get in contact with a fellow Authentikit, I guess, user, and they may be able to help you out and print off all that you need, basically. But keep in mind, you know, there will be a fee for that because, you know, you're talking of like 200 hours of 3D printing. So there is different ways you can do this. This is pretty an amazing venture, and it really is gaining traction to the point where actually Phil has just received a Platinum Award from PC Pilot magazine. Congratulations, honestly, that is just amazing and absolutely warranted in my opinion. You know, the hard work he's put into this, it's really starting to pay off, and that is great to see. Anyway, we're going to be showing that off all in its glory with the M1A Spitfire here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, look at her. She looks absolutely beautiful here, sat on the ground here. And let's get a little bit close and personal with these textures before jumping into VR. So, as we pan around here, we'll start with the exterior modelling, which that is absolutely, without question, the best looking Spitfire I've ever seen, and that is including the DCS Spitfire, that's including the IL2 version, all of them really. I think that looks so authentic. She looks battle scarred really, and all the grime and dirt, it just looks magnificent, fantastic. And I don't know, the PBR work, sometimes aircraft developers, they go a bit too crazy and make them too shiny and too, I guess, too clean and clinical, but there's a definite sense of presence with this bird. And I've got to say also that the frame rate from my tests are, I mean, she's really happy on frame rate. This model has plenty of features as well. You can remove the pilot. There's a lot of like I say, it's not a GPU, that is it, it's not called that, but whatever that thing is there, she needs power. She's a M1A, so she's going to need a bit of extra juice before you fire into life. The engine modeling, just the characteristics of that Merlin engine has been captured really nicely. She also flies really well, and you'll find that out very soon as we jump into VR. But first of all, let's have a look inside the cockpit. So here we are inside the cockpit of the M1A Spitfire, and I think you'll agree when I say that Aeroplane Heaven has done a stellar job here. The 3D modelling and texture work is just impeccably done here. I mean, every switch, knob, lever, it's all there working as you'd expect. It's great to see Aeroplane Heaven actually alive and kicking again, because it's been a while since I've seen an aircraft from them. And we're going to start this up from cold and dark in 2D mode so you can really see everything. Down there is a spade grip, and as I'm actually doing this, you'll see in the bottom left hand corner in a moment, not just yet, but when we get into VR, that is absolutely exactly the same movement as I'm doing with the Authentikit spade grip. And just to say, they are collaborating with Aeroplane Heaven, which is really exciting, for this Spitfire, but also for future projects. And you can only imagine what this feels like in a high resolution headset such as the Pimax, the Reverb, and in this case, the top of the line Varjo VR-3. So I just want to show you a few features of this aircraft. If you look down here between the elevator and the radiator lever, there's a little hidden switch there. If you press that, and we'll go outside, look at that. There is the beautiful Merlin engine in all her glory with the Rolls-Royce sign there. Look at that. That's definitely going to be my thumbnail. I mean, you know, Aeroplane Heaven did not have to do that, but they did. And I appreciate that. I really do. And if you just zoom out a bit, you can see there that the covers are on the floor. Even that little bit there. I just love that. That's so cool. But we need them obviously tucked away. At the moment, we've got the pilot in the aircraft, but you can remove the pilot by clicking this. There we go. And there. But obviously, we're going to go for a flight now, so we want the pilot in for this. And I like actually how the pilot is period specific as well, and looks very, very realistic there. God, look at her. She's gorgeous. Right, anyway, enough gawping for now. We need to get this bird started up. And I've actually purposely taken away the battery cart as well. That's what it's actually called. It's not a GPU at all. It's a battery cart because we need that for power as well. So you can do that by clicking this button here, I believe. Is it that one? That's the one there. We look outside now, and there she is. Maybe you could, you know, argue that's slightly unrealistic, but I think that's a great feature. Particularly, you know, because you're going to need ground power to start the Mark 1A up. Right, so the magnetos, we've got them on already. I've just switched them on as well as the fuel. In fact, what I'll do is I'll switch these off so you can hear the sounds. Here we go. Listen to that. Gorgeous. And we'll prime the engine as well. So we'll unlock the primer. Oh, I love that. That sounds good. I'm not sure if there should be a sound for that. It's missing at the moment, but this could be because it's a beta version. So that's plenty of prime. Lock it up again. And make sure the radiator lever is open as well. Trim is set. Obviously, parking brake needs to make sure that that is set as well. And yeah, mixture fully rich. Throttle going to be cracked. I think we're about ready, guys, for an engine start. So I think at this point, we're going to jump into the Varjo VR-3. You'll see the Authentikit throttle quadrant and the trim wheel and spade grip on the left-hand side. And I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so welcome back. We're now in VR in the Varjo VR-3 with the Authentikit spade grip, throttle quadrant and trim wheel at the bottom left-hand side of the screen. In fact, actually, with this headset in the Aeroplane Heaven Spitfire, with this setup, it literally is Aeroplane Heaven. It just is. You know, seeing the same controls that I'm reaching out and feeling is something that is hard to express into words. And I've mentioned it on the channel a few times, but it just feels so special. You might also realise that we're not at Pilot Plus Oxford anymore. We're actually at Popham. That is because I've already done this flight. In fact, it was about an hour and a half. And, did the video, really enjoyed the flight. When I went to check it in OBS, I realised I'd set the wrong resolution. The joys of being a YouTuber. But it doesn't matter. It gives me another chance to fly this beautiful bird. We're going to basically start her up now. We put the prop fully forward, mixture rich, and throttle cracked. I'll just get the right view here. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. What we'll do is, because the sounds are work in progress, and some of the sounds of the startup process isn't quite right yet, but some of them are. So what I'll do is, I'll start her up from the inside and then go to the outside view, and hopefully you'll get an idea of what she sounds like. Here we go then. Are you ready? Clear prop. And she flies into life. And there you have it. And just to say, by the way, that the engine is very warm. That's why she started off so sprightly there. And of course, this is a beta version as well. But I really like the muffled sounds of that Merlin engine inside the cockpit. It really does sound beautiful. And what we're going to do now is we're actually going to taxi to the runway. I'm going to open the canopy and do it, the way you should. doing S-turns and using the wheel brake of the Authentikit Space Grip. It's just amazing. Here we go then, listen to this. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. Honestly, does simming get any better than this? I don't think it does. This is amazing. Unbelievable. Oh yes, I am smiling a lot right now. I really do like the sounds in the internal view. Now, just to say, Barry and the team have worked tirelessly to sort of mitigate the issues of Microsoft Flight Simulator's tail dragger physics, even if there is a thing. I don't think they're even modeled properly, to be honest. And they are very specific about, you know, trying to get and recreate the most realistic Spitfire you can experience in, you know, this sim, which has meant a lot of blood, sweat and tears has gone into this, as well as the Authentikit range of flight controls. So much work has gone into this experience that I'm feeling right now. So honestly, if you are able to sort of support them, I really do feel that this is an absolute must-buy. It really is a beautiful rendition of the Spitfire, and I can tell you that now because I've already been flying it, but unfortunately the video didn't work out. But it doesn't matter. It means I can practice my takeoff again, because it wasn't very good in the last video and I must not take off. Whoa, my flaps as well. I nearly did a nose dive there as well. As I say, it is very realistic and it's hard to take off in this thing, as it should be. It really should be difficult to fly a Spitfire, particularly the ground handling, and they have recreated that very well indeed. Anyway, here we go then. I'm not expecting this to be pretty. Gingerly feeding in the power here, dancing on the rudder pedals. You have to really concentrate to keep aligned. I'm not sure if you can see my feet, but I'm dancing like crazy here. Oh my goodness me. 80 knots. And we are rotating. Actually, that's one thing that did go better. My takeoff was a lot better than the first one. Anyway, we'll go gear up and have a look outside at these beautiful, beautiful sounds. So finessing the controls here, it really does feel like you wear the Spitfire. It feels like you put it on and you get that impression, especially in VR. That is absolutely epic. Right, I think we'll go for a victory roll next. Now, by the way, included with this package is the actual operating manual of the very first Mark 1A Spitfire. And I've been reading that, and it's interesting how I can compare it to this. And, you know, it's right, you don't need a lot of rudder authority when you're doing turns. I guess that's part of the dynamics of the Spitfire. And I think Aeroplane Heaven has really captured that very, very nicely. There's something, I don't know, very charming about this model as well, with the sounds and all the, I don't know, the clattering, the banging, and just the way she feels in the air. She feels like a classic warbird, and it comes across really well. See the model there. Here we go. Now, just to say, as we're coming for another pass here, I'm running the Stormforce Amd Ryzen 9 5900X with a 6900 XT GPU, and I do feel it's struggling a little bit, particularly the GPU anyway, as I'm recording with the Varjo. You know, I'm really putting her through its paces really. But I do really love Stormforce computers. I've got one on my own, I'm not being paid to say this, but if you are looking really for a computer, I do have a discount code. I'll put it on the screen now. One of my friends has actually used it and got £80–90 off a new computer, which is nothing to be sniffed at. So as we do a half Cubanate here, back down the ground, oh, careful with that engine, my goodness me. I can really finesse the controls, it's amazing. I can really sort of feel the range of movement with the Authentikit spade grip. You just don't get that with a standard joystick. And we'll do the other one on this side as well. Be very careful not to go into an accelerated stall, which is modelled very well. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Oh, yes. Okay, see if we can get this bird in for a landing here at Popham Airfield. I'm not expecting it to be that pretty, but let's see. Oh, actually, that was a pretty decent landing. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. But that's because I've been practicing quite a bit with this bird here. And of course the spade grip really gives you just infinite sort of range. So we have been flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator with the Varjo VR-3 with the brand new Aeroplane Heaven M1A Spitfire. I hope you really enjoyed that first look. We're going to park over here somewhere. In fact, what we'll do is we'll open the canopy again. I love doing that. And as you can see, I hope you can still hear me, it's very loud. As I'm, using the wheel brake, you can see there. That's working perfectly. See, there's a bit of a weird anomaly there with the smoke with burning blue designs popping. That's probably due to the update. Careful these cones. My God, right now I feel like a real Spitfire pilot here. There we go. And we'll just pull the mixture back so you can hear the sounds. Oh yeah, that was nice. That's ready for prime time. As is this Spitfire, very, very near anyway. Thank you, I really do appreciate all your support on the channel. By the way, I've noticed that 80% of people watching my videos are not subscribed. That's a bit strange. So if you do feel like subscribing and supporting this content, I would really appreciate it. I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now. What a beauty!